Today, I'm gonna yap about my favorite show, regular show, for 2 hours by putting together my best videos for you to fall asleep to. Or don't? You can watch it all if you want. Honestly, hats off to you if you actually do. From finding out who Mordecai should have ended up with, to finding out how strong Rigby really is, let's start with something fun by finding out exactly how many people Mordecai and Rigby have killed. Mordecai and Rigby, the ultimate slacker duo from the regular show, aren't just about dodging chores and eating nachos. They're also leaving a trail of bodies that would make action movie stars jealous. From zombies to evil hot dogs and supernatural beasts, these two turn every park mishap into a kill fest. Today, we're diving into the numbers on how many people they killed. Starting with the episode, Skip Stress, where Mordecai and Rigby were seen fighting with his own stress monster. In the episode, Skips was seen suffering from his stress, and so the gang decided to head over to the Himalayas to ring an ancient bell that'll supposedly chill him out. But this is regular show, so of course, things go nuts. When Skips rings the bell, his stress manifests as a massive, shadowy, snarling monster, and everyone's stress spawns their own creepy stress heads. Rigby, never one to stay out of trouble, steps up. He grabs a shield and smashes his own stress monster into oblivion with a single brutal strike. This isn't just some casual display of power, it's a metaphysical embodiment of stress, and Rigby literally obliterates it like it's nothing. However, Mordecai goes head to head with the monster just to set his friend Skips free from his depression, which simply shows the insanely strong bond among the group. So far, Mordecai and Rigby rack up 1 kill each on the board. But what happens when they double down? Well, let's just say things got really wild on the episode called Exit 9B, because in this episode, the park's under siege by villains trying to revive a demonic highway while zombies start crawling out of the ground like it's a bad horror flick. They decide to face off against the zombies, and just like that, Rigby grabs a random sign, think of a stop sign or something equally ridiculous, and goes full ninja mode. He spins it with feral precision and slices 2 male zombies clean in half, their bodies dropping like chopped logs. But while Rigby is in absolute beast mode, Mordecai isn't lagging behind either. He contributes to the cause by brutally smashing a zombie's head, all to save the park. Not gonna lie, that was pretty damn impressive. So impressive, in fact, that it got me wondering, how many pounds of pressure would it take to crush a zombie's skull? Well, that seems pretty impossible, but not to these guys. It's not about real life motivation at all though, because they also have the same motivation while playing games too, which almost gets them killed in the next episode. Things got weird in But I Have a Receipt when Mordecai and Rigby, fed up with a lame game, tried to return it only to get sucked into its creepy game world. Mordecai and Rigby buy an RPG called The Realm of Darthon for game night, but discover it's ridiculously hard and downright terrible. After just one awful session with the other employees, they try to return it, but the store manager smugly tells them that they can't get a refund because the box is open, receipt or not.
Yeah, and we can't get no goddamn refund. This right here, no refunds, people. Hell no, no refunds.
After being furious over losing their precious cash, they decide to sabotage his business until he caves. They keep showing up at the store dressed in goofy homemade costumes and driving silly cardboard cars from the game, loudly telling customers just how bad it is and mocking the tiny pixie game pieces. Each time they ruin a sale, the manager drops the price until he's basically giving the game away for free with a stick of gum. But Mordecai and Rigby just won't quit. Being fed up, the manager uses the game's powers to trap them inside the game world, turning their cheap costumes real. But even inside the game, Mordecai and Rigby refuses to leave until they get their refund. The manager throws hordes of enemies at them, but they fight back, and Rigby hilariously uses his Technomancer powers to drag Benson, Pops, and Skips into the game as their characters from game night. Their teamwork proves too strong, so the manager banishes the others and transforms into Darthon, the ultimate player. Just as Mordecai and Rigby are about to get eaten by a giant monster, they realize they can bend the game with their imagination too. They battle the manager in a chaotic duel of wits, with Mordecai conjuring a magic sword immune to all the manager's dumb rule changes. With a striking blow, he stabs and kills Darthon, and now they're blasted back to reality, the sword turning into an ordinary ruler stuck in the manager's chest. After defeated, the manager grudgingly refunds their money, but is left half dead, despite Mordecai and Rigby awkwardly offering him help. What's crazier than Rigby outsmarting a magical game world? He doesn't just swing weapons, he uses his brain, blending direct attacks with clever indirect commands. But that's not the only time they killed someone so brutally like that. They got got 4 more kills and a bunch of full-grown geese. The park's overrun by evil geese. Think Hitchcock's The Birds, but with more attitude. And so, to get rid of them, Rigby teams up with Mordecai and the eagle who morphs into a Mega Duck warrior because why not? And together, they fight the battle against the evil geese while unleashing a massive karate chop that blows up 4 geese in a fiery explosion. Can you imagine Rigby pulling off a chop that causes an explosion? Even though the kills are shared between him and Mordecai, Rigby's right in the action, proving their clutch when it counts. The direct method, karate chopping with a giant duck, shows their ability to roll with regular show's insanity. The geese go up in flames, and Rigby's part of the team that saves the day. 4 kills down, but that's nothing compared to their next killing spree. Because in this next episode, Mordecai and Rigby went full Rambo in the episode called Grave Sites. During a park movie night, Rigby's classic screw-up, messing with some cursed projector, ended up awakening a horde of zombies. The audience was screaming and the park had become a war zone.
Dude, if anybody gets hurt, we won't get our paid day off. We gotta keep the zombies away from the people.
Rigby grabs a pole, maybe a piece of the screen's frame, and goes to town, stabbing, bludgeoning, and decapitating 6 zombies with savage precision. While Rigby swings his pole, Mordecai grabs a chair and smashes 4 zombies, crushing skulls and saving the crowd. This leaves the question for all. How does a slacker like Rigby turn into a zombie-slaying hero? And how does Mordecai make a chair a deadly weapon? But it only happens because of their motivation. Guilt. Like, they know they caused this mess, and now they're just trying to fix it. The direct methods, smashing and stabbing, show their raw, desperate energy. However, killing 6 zombies wasn't enough. In the next episode, the number of kills puts that to shame. In Sandwich of Death, Mordecai and Rigby join Sensei at Death Kwon Do to save Benson, who accidentally ate the lethal sandwich of death made by none other than Sensei himself. Apparently, only Master Sensei can save Benson by crafting the sandwich of life. Here's where things go downhill. Master Sensei lives like a hermit in the mountains, and getting to him is no easy task. To reach him, the trio must face an insane wall of security. The guards are all karate warriors like Sensei, and they aren't exactly handing out cookies. Cue the epic battle. As motorcycle riding guards attack, Mordecai, showing off his rather impressive skills, grabs a chain and throws it at one of the guards' face. Smack. Instant death. On to the next level. When they get close to the grand door, another group of guards ambushes them. But Mordecai and Rigby are too strong, and Rigby delivers a knockout punch so powerful, even Rocky Balboa would be jealous. The next phase? Even crazier. Another pair of axe-wielding warriors tries to stop them, but Mordecai and Rigby jump like ninjas and take them down faster than you can say Death Kwon Do. Then, 6 identical guards show up. Oh, great. It's a ninja army. But Mordecai, Rigby, and Sensei tag team them, and surprise, they win. But the battle isn't over just yet. After finally reaching the mountain where Master Sensei lives, things take a serious twist. Master Sensei refuses to hand over the sandwich of life and instead gets a double death sandwich, a sandwich so deadly it could finish off Benson for good.
Too bad you'll never taste from the sandwich of life.
Sensei, no! Not the double death sandwich!
Just when all hope seems lost, Sensei sends a message to Mordecai and Rigby to tackle the sandwich with the legendary bicycle kick of death, and they pull it off. Just like that, the double death sandwich goes flying, lands on Master Sensei, and boom, he's out. After all that chaos, they finally grab the sandwich of life, save Benson, and are just about to breathe a sigh of relief when the mountain explodes. But hey, they made it using the death jump in the end. This episode shows the true meaning of friendship. Mordecai and Rigby kill 11 people, including Master Sensei, just to save Benson. Now that's dedication. Speaking of dedication, that's not the only time Mordecai and Rigby killed someone for their friends. In the episode called The Wallpaper Man, they face an evil guy with magical powers who traps all their friends in spider webs. Just when Mordecai and Rigby try to save them, this villain transforms into an actual giant spider and captures Pops in his webs for good measure. But Mordecai and Rigby weren't having any of it. They started throwing rocks at the spider, which predictably didn't help at all. In fact, it was pretty much useless. However, in a bizarre twist, the rocks did help their friends escape the webs. Instead of sticking around to help, their friends bail on them like it's the final season of Friends, leaving Mordecai and Rigby to face the giant spider alone, which is actually pretty sad.
We gotta get out of here! No, you don't! You two are staying here! What? You hired that thing, you fire it!
That spider's gonna kill us!
Not my problem!
But just as they're about to be spider food, Mordecai and Rigby come up with a brilliant idea. They grab bombs from Muscle Man's package and stuff them in the spider's mouth. And just like that, the bombs exploded and the villain was done for. And that's how they killed a literal devil spider and escaped certain death, thanks to the bravery of Mordecai, who actually made it possible. However, we saw the bravest version of Mordecai in the Christmas special episode when he fought to save their Christmas gift from Quilgan. Quilgan actually wanted the gift to harness its power and make the whole world evil, but Mordecai wasn't having it, and he didn't hesitate for a second to attack Quilgan in order to save the gift. The situation escalated as they both jumped into lava while fighting. Seeing Mordecai in danger, Rigby also jumped in, like the true bro he is, always having his back. After a nail-biting battle, they finally defeated Quilgan and escaped, leaving him in the lava, where he ultimately perished. That's how they saved their Christmas gift, but do you know what really got the most appreciation? It was Rigby jumping into the lava. He didn't think twice before leaping in to save his friend Mordecai. It's nothing but pure bromance between the two, no matter what the situation is. But things reached at its peak chaos in Meet Your Maker, where they ended up racking a staggering 46 kills. After burning Benson's precious hot dogs, Rigby and Mordecai get trapped in a meat locker. Surprise, they find talking hot dogs who plan to eat the park staff. Rigby, in full panic mode, grabs a mustard bottle and sprays it everywhere, triggering the hot dogs to go feral and eat each other in a gruesome, cannibalistic frenzy. 46 hot dogs gone, and Rigby slips out, pinning the blame on Benson. Rigby's motivation here is self-preservation. He didn't want to die in a meat locker, and so he mustered to spark chaos. No planning, just pure instinct. Even though Rigby and Mordecai don't throw a single punch, they're responsible for 46 deaths. Although Rigby is well known for messing up situations in regular show, Mordecai's mistake took things on a whole new level as he lost his loved one because of his silly act. In the episode The Heart of a Stuntman, he accidentally became the cause of the death of his beloved Uncle Steve. The group was seen playing a bowling game, but when Uncle Steve went over to recharge and play another round with Mordecai, he became excited while jumping and dancing. Little did he know that this would bring trouble. Uncle Steve was accidentally pushed by Mordecai, and his face ended up in the machine, causing a tragic and fatal accident. This event caused serious damage to Mordecai and showed him just how tragic life can be sometimes.
I can't believe he's gone. This is all my fault. If I hadn't pressured everyone into playing that extra game, my uncle would still be alive.
But that's life, and things eventually go well when you have a friend like Rigby who always cheers you up.
Not helping, dude.
In the end, these slackers are chaotic forces, punching, chopping, and spraying mustard to save their loved ones, or sometimes accidentally killing them. Throughout all the episodes, they racked up a staggering 74 kills, willingly or not.
But now let's do something different and take a look at the most hated and loved episodes of regular show.
From an episode that won fans' hearts in literal minutes to another that got absolutely slammed for its dull and disappointing storyline, these are the most loved versus most hated regular show episodes of all time. Starting with Skip's story, which aired on April 14th, 2014. The episode opens with Mordecai and Rigby on Pops' roof. The duo, curious about Skip's immortality, ask him how he became immortal. Skips reluctantly agrees to share his story. Skips, then known as Wox, starts by recounting his teenage years at school, where he was known for fighting. He meets Gareth and the Guardians of Eternal Youth, who introduce him to their plan to defeat Clorgbane, a dangerous figure who terrorizes the school. Despite being offered the powerful fists of justice, Wox is reluctant to fight, especially after he meets Mona, a girl who dislikes fighting. He promises her he'll never fight again, and they bond over working on the prom decorations. And soon, Mona became the love of his life. But sadly, things take a turn when Clorgbane attacks him and his girlfriend. After a brutal fight, Clorgbane kills Mona. And Wox, fueled by rage, uses the Fist of Justice to defeat Clorgbane, sending him to the stratosphere. But Mona's death leaves Wox heartbroken. Years later, Gareth and the Guardians offer Wox immortality to help him fight Clorgbane every 157 years. Wox accepts, choosing the name Skips in honor of the time he spent with Mona. However, immortality comes with a heavy cost, losing loved ones over time. Mordecai and Rigby are deeply moved by Skip's tragic story. Rigby jokingly asks if Skips graduated high school, but Mordecai punches him. As the two leave, Skips looks like a locket containing a photo of him and Mona, shedding a tear before returning to work, showing the lasting impact of his past. This episode received the IMDb rating of 9.6, while touching many fans with the emotional storyline of Skips' life. A heartwarming yet tragic origin story about a fan favorite character. This episode is simply brilliant, from the beginning to the end. The episode is an absolute gem, 10 out of 10. How it wasn't even nominated for an Emmy, I will never know. Although Skips' story had fans throwing confetti, Baldspot had them dozing off with a meager 6.7 out of 10 IMDb rating. The episode kicks off at a slow pace with Muscleman and High Five Ghost at Cheap Cuts, where Muscleman gets a haircut from Tony. He's excited about his 1-year anniversary with Starla at the roller rink, but when Tony finishes, Muscleman spots a bald spot on his head. Fearing for some reason Starla won't love him anymore, he tries everything to cover it up. Novelty hats, comb-overs, and hair growth spray, but none of it works. Back at his trailer, Muscleman tells High Five Ghost that his hair and his muscles are all that he has. So he strangely decides to flex his man boobs all night to distract Starla from the bald spot. Surprisingly, it actually works, and Starla is totally distracted by his flexing. And that's where things went wrong. As soon as Muscleman stakes out, his hypnotic man boobs cause all the girls to chase after him. On top of that, the girls' boyfriends aren't happy, and a chaotic brawl breaks out. Seeing this, Starla becomes furious while confronting Muscleman, accusing him of flexing for other girls. Then, in a moment of honesty, Muscleman admits he's bald and reveals his bald spot, which breaks the spell and sends everyone away. But Starla, after being relieved, tells him she still loves him because it's what's on the inside that counts. She then spots stubble on his bald spot and realizes he's not going bald, he just got a bad haircut.
You're not going bald. You just got a bad haircut.
And that's how this episode ends. Even though it has a somewhat happy ending, fans didn't like it due to the strange and low stakes of the episode, and as a result, its ratings were tanked. But even though Bald Spot was a total buzzkill, Exit 9B lit up screens like a disco ball. The episode begins with the new intern Thomas witnessing chaos when a mysterious bearded man chases the park staff and shoots them with a stun gun. Mordecai and Rigby barely escape, with Rigby holding a crucial document and Mordecai using a time machine. The stranger laughs as he demolishes the house, leaving Thomas in shock. 2 months later, the park is now a construction zone for a freeway, and the staff's memories have been wiped.
I don't know you.
Mordecai and Rigby must get everyone to sign a document declaring the park a historical site to stop the project. They track down Skips, Pops, Muscleman, High Five Ghost, and Benson. Skips is now working at an auto body shop and is reminded of his lost love by Rigby. Pops works at a butterfly sanctuary and is jogged back into memory by a lollipop. Muscleman, now a quantum physics professor, and High Five Ghost, now a pizza delivery guy, remembers after a high five. Meanwhile, Benson works for the mysterious bearded man, revealed to be Garrett Bobby Ferguson Jr., seeking revenge for his father's defeat in High Score. He plans to destroy everything Mordecai and Rigby love. The gang is captured and buried in cement by the stranger's goons. Skip summons reinforcements, including Gary and the Guardians of Eternal Youth, and an epic battle breaks out. Mordecai and Rigby narrowly escape from Benson's giant digger, triggering his memory with their classic antics. Benson signs the document, but GBF Jr. threatens Thomas. In a twist, Thomas smacks him with coffee, and it's revealed that Mordecai and Rigby swap the document. Thomas signs it, saving the park and sending the villains back. This episode was a classic, showing all the park's enemies uniting and facing off. It was the ultimate battle, demonstrating how dangerous revenge can be. That's why it earned a staggering 9.7 rating overall, which is honestly insane. Unlike the jaw-dropping Exit 9B episode, The Longest Weekend had fans checking their watches. The episode begins at a rocky pace as the group goes on watching the cheesy movie The Longest Weekend. While the girls enjoy it, the guys think it's boring, much like the rest of this episode. Afterward, Starla wonders if they're taking their love for granted and decides that she and Muscleman should spend a weekend apart to prove their love. If Muscleman calls her, she'll dump him? The guys and girls separate, and Muscleman initially brags about it being easy, but quickly finds himself haunted by reminders of Starla, making him freak out. He turns to Mordecai, Rigby, and High Five Ghost for help staying away from her. They dispose of his phones and other means of contact to keep him distracted. At the coffee shop, Starla wonders why Muscleman hasn't called, but Margaret reminds her her that she would dump him if he did. Starla admits she didn't mean it and believes that Muscleman should know the difference between when she's serious and when she's not. Back at the park, the guys play a game of Go Fish, but Muscleman quits and hides in his trailer. Mordecai talks with Margaret about the ridiculousness of the situation, concluding that if two people like each other, they should just be together. As the clock ticks towards midnight, Muscleman becomes more desperate and tricks Rigby into letting him go.
You don't have to worry. I don't have it in me to run away. Just let me hit the bathroom. I gotta use it.
All right, just for a minute.
Even though the park crew ties him up, as the time approaches, Muscleman and Starla both turn into fireballs racing toward the church. At midnight, they crash into each other in an explosion. The park crew checks on them, and they're fine, but Starla and Muscleman make out disgustingly, leaving Mordecai and Margaret agreeing never to invite them to the movies again. This episode was just incredibly boring, earning only a 6.7 IMDb rating, with fans disliking almost everything about it. Another boring Muscleman episode. And honestly, it's understandable, considering it included adult themes like emotional understanding and a kids show. It's a little hard for a 6-year-old to understand concepts like the reciprocation of love. Although this episode didn't meet expectations, the finale of the regular show was a complete turnaround. In an emotional rush, the park crew ends up in Lollyland, the magical birthplace of Pops and Anti-Pops. There, they meet the quirky locals, Frivola Cranus, Quadravi Cranus, and Weird Mushroom Guy. The crew learns that Pops and Anti-Pops' true names are Mega Cranus and Malum Cranus. The natives show the crew ancient tapestries depicting past battles where the crew fought alongside Pops, because apparently fighting against your evil brother is a family tradition. But despite all the epic battles, the universe always resets in an epic stalemate. Mordecai, ever the strategist, recommends setting traps for Anti-Pops. Unfortunately, Anti-Pops arrives in a ride-sharing Uber and isn't in the mood for peace talks. Pops tries to play the "we're brothers, come on" card, but Anti-Pops isn't having it. Traps are set, but they fail. Turns out traps are a lot more useful when they actually trap someone. However, part 2 sees Pops making a deal with Anti-Pops. First one to land a punch decides the fate of the universe. Pops manages to land a hit, but Anti-Pops, being the bad boy he is, breaks the deal and keeps fighting. Meanwhile, the crew, along with a weirdly eclectic mix of characters like HD DVD, Blu-ray, the Baby Ducks, and even Party House 42699, are fighting Anti-Pops' minions and the streaming modern. In a truly regular show fashion, Sure Shot blasts their ship into the Guardian of Lollyland elbow, and the team transforms with the Baby Ducks into Hyper Duck. It's as ridiculous as it sounds. The final blow comes when HD DVD and Blu-ray unleash their weapon, the 5.1 surround sound Shockwave, which sends Streaming Modern crashing to the ground. But just when they think they've won, Anti-Pops transforms into a Titan and starts erasing everything. Muscleman and High Five Ghost are zapped away, but not before Muscleman cracks a final "my mom" joke.
You know who else grows really big to show their dominance, but is actually really small deep down? My mom.
Because apparently, even in the face of destruction, that's still funny. Pops, enraged by the death of his friends, sacrifices himself and Anti-Pops by flying into the sun. The brothers finally make peace, and their sacrifice erases the destruction they caused, bringing everyone back. 3 years later, the crew is back on Earth, reuniting with family, including Muscleman, who meets his 3-year-old daughter. Mordecai becomes an abstract artist, and Rigby shares his first kiss with Eileen. After 25 years, they all reunite for a photo by Pops' memorial statue. As they walk off, the screen fades to static and Pops' voice exclaims, "Jolly good show." Because of course, that's how we end this wild ride. The show officially wraps up, leaving us all a little misty-eyed and still laughing at that "my mom" joke. This episode became the most beloved in the series with an IMDb rating of 9.8 as fans expressed their love for the characters and the heartwarming epic finale. The whole space season of regular show is very unique, despite being very different from usual seasons. A regular epic final battle part 3 is a sad episode while also being an amazing one. It's a nice way to finish off the series, plus the ending didn't seem like it was rushed, which only made it better. Best final I've ever seen in my life. Thank you so much for everything you have given me. I won't ever forget his impact it had on me. The comedy, characters, storytelling, I won't ever forget. Thank you so much. In the end, the episode sparked mixed reactions from fans worldwide, with some loving them and others hating the storyline. But no matter the plot, the fans' love for the characters remains unchanged.
But now let's dive into some deeper lore by uncovering all the reasons why Eileen deserved better in regular show.
Most of us think Margaret is the kindest character in regular show, but deep down, she wasn't even close to Eileen when it came to real life impact, ultimately becoming the heart of the park with her endless unacknowledged love and support. And in this video, we're going to explore the vile treatment of Eileen and how it never shook her unwavering devotion and forgiveness to finally show that she truly deserved better. Eileen Roberts, the Tanford mole with red glasses and a ponytail, entered regular show as a soft-spoken waitress at the coffee shop, working alongside Margaret. Her first appearance was a brief cameo in Season 2's Brain Eraser, where she barely stood out among the park's wild crew. Her gentle voice and shy charm made her likable, even if she stayed in the background. As a college student with big dreams and a love for sea turtles, Eileen brought a calm vibe to the show's chaos, hinting at her potential from the start.
So, just the free ice water then?
Yeah, thanks, Eileen. Oh.
Feel better now?
And her charm didn't go unnoticed by fans who saw her as a breath of fresh air. Unlike the Boulder characters, she was kind and smart, setting her apart early on. However, in these early seasons, she wasn't regular, often popping up only to help or add a quick laugh. While in Brain Eraser, she was just a face in the crowd, Eileen's story began to take shape in Do Me a Solid, where she was seen checking out Rigby simply because she had a crush on him.
Don't look now, dude, but Eileen is totally checking you out.
But instead of being impressed, Rigby acted foolishly, making it clear that he didn't like her.
Oh no, poor guy. I'm gonna go take him a coffee.
And it didn't stop there. When they first met face to face, Rigby was mean to her and wouldn't even talk to her, despite Eileen's efforts to impress him.
Dude, she's coming this way.
Hey guys, here's your order. I triple dipped your sandwich, Rigby, just the way you like it. So, Rigby, I was wondering, do you like miniature golf? Me too! In an ironic way.
However, even after facing multiple rejections early on, Eileen still tried to convince Rigby to go out on a date. But as always, he didn't care and rejected her right to her face.
My shift ends early tonight. Wanna go?
Yeah, Rigby, wanna go?
Yeah, I'm waxing my car tonight, so...
Oh, that's cool.
Despite receiving amazing treatment from Eileen, Rigby still didn't like her. And even when they went on a movie date together with Mordecai and Margaret, Rigby continuously kept being mean to her. But Rigby's rudeness toward Eileen reached a new height during the earthquake that Mordecai and Rigby caused when she ran toward him for help and he didn't even bother to care. However, Rigby's bad behavior reached its final peak in the episode Skunked when he nearly tried to physically attack her in public just because she laughed at his silly actions.
This is funny!
Well, I don't think it's funny. This is my life you're laughing at.
Rigby, stop! Stop!
Rigby, you're scaring me.
Even after all of this, Eileen didn't get upset with Rigby. In fact, she was seen laughing with him even after he threw a packet of sausages at her face in the episode Camping Be Cool. Instead of getting upset or angry, she chose to show her supportive side, like bravely breaking the locked car's window to save the crew while they were being chased by the forest deer. And just like that, Eileen became the talk of the town among fans who became to notice her calm and supportive behavior more and more, saying, "She's very nice and always a friend to everyone." But that was just the beginning. Her character began to develop further in Diary from Season 3. While Mordecai was struggling with his feelings for Margaret, Eileen entered the scene like a model with some coffee, which made Rigby go like,
"Whoa, dude."
And just like that, things began to click as Rigby started to feel the same feelings for her. Eileen's role in Rigby's life became prominent due to her unwavering support for him. Even though Rigby was well known and disliked by everyone for his silly behavior,
I'm done hanging out with you. You're not my friend. I'm out of here.
Eileen was the one who always tolerated his foolishness. Like in one pull-up from Season 4, she trained Rigby to do a single pull-up to literally save his job.
There are no shortcuts to physical fitness.
Oh no, I'm gonna lose my job! No, 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 no!
Come on, you can still make it.
Oh, it's hopeless!
No, it's not. There's still time. Do what I say.
Using timers and cheers, she pushed him gently but firmly, helping him succeed with a clever ladder trick. And just like that, her patience stood out, especially when Rigby struggled. However, that wasn't the only time we saw this great duo working together. The same thing happened in TGI Tuesday from season 4 when she helped plan a party for Margaret and even dancing with Rigby, making the night fun and meaningful. Just like that, her support kept showing up. Like in Meteor Moves from season 4, where she completely nerded out after a meteor shower, possibly annoying Rigby, but also showing her unique smarts.
Did you see it? What'd you think? What'd you think?
It was amazing.
Man, wait till my astronomy club hears about this. I've never seen celestial bodies come together like that.
As the seasons went on, Eileen and Rigby's love grew, turning her into the supportive girlfriend who made him a better person. That's what caused their relationship to evolve, and soon it was no longer confined to one-sided affection. Like in the episode Death Bear, we saw Eileen and Rigby spending time alone together and sharing wholesome moments. Even though they were being chased by a bear, Eileen showed her strength by being the one to call security services to save the crew, which highlighted her quick thinking and initiation.
Quick! Barricade the door!
I'll call animal control. Yes, come quick, it's Death Bear.
Everyone upstairs, quick!
But even after the danger was under control, we also saw Eileen openly flirting with Rigby, showing her affection for him once again.
You weren't exactly brave, Rigby, but I still think you're pretty cool.
Thanks, you too.
But even though Rigby wasn't full in his senses, he still agreed to acknowledge Eileen's intellectuals for the first time. Took him long enough, don't you think? But her role as a supportive partner shone brighter in Real Day from season 5. While helping Mordecai and CJ, Eileen and Rigby shared some chocolate cake in a romantic setting, with Eileen saying she knew he'd love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
I thought that you would.
This quiet moment felt sweeter than the main plot, showing their growing love for each other. Fans on social media called it a perfect side date, loving how natural their connection felt. But Eileen's peak came in season 7's The Eileen Plan, where Eileen's teen dream to marry someone smart inspired Rigby to finish high school in secret, while even canceling his dates with Eileen to reach the bigger goal.
Hello.
Hey, Rigby, you ready for our date tonight? Precedented and will never be repeated. Are you okay?
I'm not feeling so hot, Eileen.
This is literally coming from a raccoon who avoided work and did nothing but play video games all day. When Eileen got lost in a cave during a field trip, Rigby used his new geology knowledge to save her.
It worked!
Carrying her out like a hero.
Head for this.
Look!
I know everyone passes this class, but Rigby just aced it.
I get to carry you next time.
This episode became a fan favorite, with many praising how Eileen's influence helped transform Rigby from lazy to driven. Her constant support pushed him to become a better man, or raccoon, making their love a true cornerstone of the show. Even after all of this, Eileen stayed underrated compared to Margaret or CJ, who ended up getting more screen time and focus overall. While Margaret's romance with Mordecai and CJ's fiery role took center stage, Eileen's quieter arc was mostly overlooked. Despite having such a great role, she couldn't be as recognized as Margaret, whose drama drove major plots. For example, in Butt Dial from season 3, Margaret laughed off Mordecai's love confession and ended up hurting him, while Eileen stayed kind and drama-free in almost every episode. And that's not all. Margaret's focus on her journalism career, seen in Local News Legend from season 6, made her seem distant, often prioritizing fame over friends. In contrast, Eileen's goals, like her turtle rescue and Icy Turtles from season 6, brought the gang together without ego. Yet when it came to impact, Eileen transformed from a side character into a true protagonist, changing Rigby in ways Margaret never could for Mordecai. For example, in episodes like Video 101 from season 5, where she led a homework project and fixed the gang's bad edit. Or Snow Tubing from season 6, where she beat her fear with Rigby's help, Eileen showed leadership and heart. As a result of these, fans began to see Eileen as the better character, with many calling calling her the best girlfriend in cartoon history on social media. But unfortunately, this wasn't enough, as throughout Regular Show, the production team always focused on Mordecai's complex love story with Margaret, and sometimes CJ, making them the main focus when it came to romance. However, it wasn't just Margaret Mordecai or Mordecai CJ. Even Muscleman and Starla got more romantic moments on screen.
You're not going bald. You've just got a bad haircut.
That's why I love you, baby.
This shows that, despite her great personality, Eileen was not primarily in the spotlight. But still, even without getting as much screen time and attention as other characters, Eileen statistically proved her worth. Her episodes performed strongly, reflecting her growing fan base. The Eileen plan from Season 7 was a standout, earning an impressive IMDb rating of 8.5 out of 10. Another hit was Eileen Flat Screen from Season 6, where Rigby set up a TV for her, facing her mean roommate Joanne.
Check it out, Eileen. Your TV's all set up. Don't worry about the installs. It's ready for your eyeballs.
Nuh-uh! You guys didn't have to go to so much trouble. Thank you.
It was all Rigby's idea.
Really?
Their wholesome moments and loving gazes warmed hearts, with the video performing even better than the others. These numbers showed Eileen's episodes were loved, often outshining those with more drama-heavy characters like Margaret. But apart from the fiction, Eileen actually represented the supportive female role, filled with love and care that helped Rigby become his best self. Her support shone like a guiding star in Rigby's graduation special from Season 7, when Rigby finally acknowledged how having Eileen in his life had helped him become a better man, proving that her care was truly endless and unwavering. And this didn't go unnoticed by the viewers, as they really ended up appreciating her, saying those two are perfect for each other. Then, in a regular epic final battle, she fought alongside the crew and finally shared her first kiss with Rigby on their return to Earth. The time jump showed them married with 2 daughters at the 25-year park reunion, a happy ending that contrasted Mordecai and Margaret's split paths. Mordecai found love with Steph, while Margaret stayed alone in her news career. Fans on Reddit also praised her journey, with one saying she is always sweet to Rigby. In 2024, a popular Reddit thread emerged among Regular Show fans asking the question, "What's your opinion on Eileen?" 90% of the audience gave overwhelmingly positive feedback about her, saying she's cute and she's changed the most immature person and turned him into a mature person, while labeling her as the best. However, one person took the appreciation to a whole new level, saying she's the kind of girl most of us guys need in our lives. Her voice actor, Minty Lewis, did an incredible job bringing Eileen to life and adding to her charm. And just like that, Eileen's quiet strength and pure heart made her shine, standing out far beyond the drama that surrounded the others. Even though she was neglected by Rigby in the beginning, her love became the driving force behind his transformation from a slacker to a hero. And unlike others, even with limited screen time in each episode, earning love and appreciation from fans, proving that she always deserved a better spot from the very beginning.
Now, continuing to explore the deep lore of Regular Show, let's go over the highly deserved downfall of Margaret.
From being the sweet birdie adored by all, to breaking hearts with her manipulations, Margaret's story in Regular Show is the prime example of how a loved character can fall from grace, abandoned by fans who once cheered for her. Margaret Smith, the rosy red robin of Regular Show, fluttered into our hearts as the kind waitress at the coffee shop. With her perky feathers and sunny disposition, she became a staple in the zany world of Mordecai, Rigby, and their park pals. Debuting in the show's early days in 2010, her character was crafted as a beacon of warmth, often seen having fun with Eileen or sharing laughs with the gang. Her voice, soft and cheerful, made her a hit with kids and grown-ups alike. Fans on the internet wrote, "Everyone can see they are meant for each other." And eventually, her role grew, appearing in over 50 episodes by 2012, making her a fan favorite. The show's creators painted her as the ideal love interest, a down-to-earth bird with a journalism dream, earning her a spot in viewers' hearts. However, beneath her feathered facade, cracks began to show.
Sorry, but I can't be your girlfriend.
Margaret's journey wasn't all sunshine and lattes. It was marred by moments that turned adoration into scorn. But where did it all start? Margaret's upbringing was swift and sweet. In episodes like Caffeinated Concert Tickets, she teamed up with Mordecai and Rigby for wacky antics, her laughter ringing throughout the park. Her chemistry with Mordecai fueled romantic subplots that kept viewers hooked.
Yeah, thanks, Margaret.
Sure thing.
Hey, Pops. I need to show you something in the other room.
But by season 3, her character evolved. She pursued journalism and transferred colleges, a move that showcased her pure ambition. Fans cheered. She's living her dream. Her clean image, rarely angry, always kind, made her a role model to all. But the trouble pecked at Margaret's reputation in season 4's butt dial. After Mordecai accidentally leaves a voicemail confessing his love, Margaret's response was downright cold. She laughed him off, prioritizing a date over his feelings for her.
So you can just go ahead and erase that message now.
Oh no, that song is way too good to lose.
What? Come on.
No, actually I'm gonna set it to be your personal ringtone.
You're kidding, right?
Nope, that way I can hear you singing every time you call me. So you better call me.
Okay. I'll try to use my fingers to dial next time.
Fans on Reddit said that she doesn't seem interested and contributed nothing to this relationship. This moment sparked debates about her loyalty and the episode's awkward silence after her rejection left a bitter taste. But the worst came in Yes Dude Yes when Margaret literally manipulated Mordecai emotionally only to ditch him when it suited her.
You got this.
Yes, dude, yes.
This event broke Mordecai's heart, and he eventually became so depressed that he isolated himself from everyone, even his best friend Rigby.
I know it must hurt, man, but you've been listening to that song on repeat for like 5 days now.
The episode's cringe factor did not go unnoticed by people online. People became so mad at Margaret, saying things like she belongs to the streets, and that they don't know what Mordecai sees in her. Her actions painted her as selfish, eroding her entire wholesome image. However, even after this, many fans wanted the two of them to be together and finally live a happy life. But things got even worse in Stake Me Amadeus. When Mordecai finally mustered the courage to confess his feelings to her face, she responded like this.
Will you be my girlfriend?
Mordecai, there's something I need to tell you. For the first time ever, I feel like I could be in a relationship that could actually go somewhere. But there's this. I got into my dream school. I really like you, Mordecai, and what we have is special. But I may never get this opportunity again. I'm sorry, but I can't be your girlfriend.
This just made Mordecai even more depressed once again.
Yo, you take Margaret to the airport?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Although this episode was also a clear sign that the relationship just wouldn't work out. Fans absolutely lost it. Why build good chemistry if you can't even show the couple being happy ever after? The episode's slow pan to his sad face cemented her as the villain in literally everyone's perspective. Her toxicity gradually reached its peak in the later seasons. When Margaret came back after graduating, she ended up causing an even bigger mess. At that time, Mordecai was dating CJ. But at one point, Margaret was seen not kissing her quote-unquote boyfriend Del, and finally ended up saying that she didn't like Del anymore.
No! You're not my boyfriend!
She said she still has feelings for Mordecai.
Why don't you just tell me right now? Do you still have feelings for Mordecai?
I think I do. I'm sorry. I just wanted to start over.
This only made CJ angry, and she ended up saying this.
Seems like everyone always wants to start over. Why don't you guys just get it right the first time?
But it's not just CJ. This event also made the fans angry. Everyone was talking about it on the internet. Fans on Reddit were shocked, with one saying she used Del as a pawn. Another said she is so toxic. This act showed her willingness to manipulate others for her own benefit, tarnishing her already shaky reputation. Her admission, while it being honest, came too late and only added to the chaos. But Margaret's pattern of sending mixed signals to Mordecai was the actual nail in her coffin. Despite knowing his deep feelings for her, she often ignored him. In Bad Kiss, she pulled away from a kiss because of Mordecai's bad breath, but never even addressed his feelings afterwards, leaving him completely humiliated.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't.
No, it's fine. It's just
What?
your breath is really bad.
Fans noted that she shouldn't have told him that and could have just kept it a secret. Her selfishness was highlighted so much in the show, and even her journalism success came at the cost of friendships, alienating her from the Park gang. Margaret's troubles deepened in season 6. In local news legend, she bragged about her newscaster job, showing off her fancy life to her old friends. Her focus on fame over loyalty made her seem distant. Another episode, named Merry Christmas Mordecai, showed Margaret again causing internal conflict between CJ and Mordecai. In this episode, she was seen kissing Mordecai in front of CJ, reigniting the love triangle and causing chaos, which was terrible, to be honest.
Awkward.
This event was the sole reason why CJ and Mordecai didn't end up working out together.
No!
Oh my gosh.
I didn't mean to do
really
that.
wasn't. I mean, Mordecai? No, it's not.
CJ, wait!
Awkward.
Even though both of them were involved in the kissing, people actually blamed Margaret because she knew Mordecai was emotionally weak for her and used this weakness as bait. Her inability to commit turned her into a laughingstock, with fans criticizing her even more and more. Social media backlash grew. A 2023 Reddit thread asked, "Why didn't Mordecai end up with Margaret?" Responses blamed her inconsistency, because Margaret was with someone else. Margaret sucks. CJ actually gave up about Mordecai. Her clean slate was now smeared with accusations of being a heartbreaker and user in the end. Her lavish on-screen life, including newscaster gigs and fancy dates, didn't go unnoticed by the fans. It was clear that the production crew wanted to showcase her more on television, which is why they gave her different roles every time. In local news legend, she flaunted her success, which was nothing more than showing off. And just like that, viewership data showed that episodes featuring Margaret dropped 20% in rewatch rates by 2025, which was alarming for the production crew as the fans' exodus was clearly visible. By season 8, Margaret's screen time had dwindled. In a regular epic final battle, she didn't have any screen time while the others were having their happy endings. Her absence from key moments signaled her fall from grace. A 2023 Reddit poll asked, "Should Mordecai have ended up with Margaret?" Over 70% voted no, citing her selfishness. Mordecai deserves better. CJ over Margaret. So, no. Fan fiction and memes sealed her fate. In the end, even though Rigby and Eileen had a great ending like the others, Mordecai and Margaret just didn't work out. But Mordecai wasn't even depressed in the end. He also ended up finding the love of his life and finally pursuing his passion of becoming an artist. Even though the ending wasn't expected, it still shows us that not everything we desire can be attained, and that's just how life works. Despite Margaret becoming one of the most hated characters on Regular Show, Mordecai actually had a happy ending, surrounded by the love of people online.
But easing on the tension now, let's take a break and analyze what happened to every cartoon that copied Regular Show.
The Regular Show wasn't just a weird cartoon, it was a cultural reset. Its strange mix of slackers, surreal comedy, and cosmic level chaos made it an instant classic. And we all know when something hits that hard, copycats are bound to follow. So let's take a look at what happened to every cartoon that copied Regular Show. The first copycat came in 2013 when rival studio Nickelodeon dropped Sanjay and Craig. On the surface, it's about a boy and his talking snake, but really, it's just bootleg Mordecai and Rigby in disguise. Take the very first episode from season 1, Fart Baby. The entire plot is Sanjay holding in a fart until his belly swells, and he and Craig decide he's pregnant with the fart. That's the plot.
We gotta get that thing out of you before you pop, man! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
No, nothing's working. This is a medical emergency.
It starts dumb, gets weirder, and escalates into pure chaos. The exact same formula as Regular Show. Now, compare that to the episode Brain Eraser from season 2, where Mordecai accidentally sees Pops naked and is so traumatized he can't get the image out of his head. To fix it, Rigby gives him a bootleg anime called Planet Chaser Starlight Excellent, which ends up frying Mordecai's brain. Quite literally. Skips joins in, and together they dive into Mordecai's subconscious through the anime to recover the lost memory, and finally, drive a car off a cliff inside Mordecai's brain. Yeah, it's messy, it's wild, but Mordecai has to confess his trauma somehow, and it's somehow relatable. Sanjay and Craig go from obsessing over farting to treating the fart baby like it's alive, and then the episode escalates into total nonsense. But here's the difference. The chaos doesn't mean anything. There's no emotional core, no real conflict, just farts. That's why the audience never really connected. It lasted 3 seasons, then disappeared, just like Sanjay's fart. But Nickelodeon wasn't done chasing regular shows lightning. In 2014, they dropped Breadwinners. 2 Duck Bros, Sway Sway and Badoose, delivering bread in a rocket van and getting into all sorts of ridiculous adventures. Sound familiar? That's basically Mordecai and Rigby in the golf cart refeathered. Episodes like Thug Loaf take bread and turn it into a gangster story. The same mundane food becomes epic setup as Sandwich of Death.
Is that your sensei?
Yes, and that sandwich right there is the sandwich of life.
Which one? There's 2 of them.
It's the one on the organic multigrain. Opposite, we have the deadliest sandwich known to man. The double death sandwich.
Or From Bad to Nurse, where their goal was to provide medical assistance, or breadside care, to their most important customer, just like Excellent, where Mordecai must win a trucker's hat to nurse Rigby back from a coma.
Rigby only wanted to try and win a hat. He doesn't deserve to be in a coma because of it.
Where are you going?
Back to the restaurant.
Why?
Because I made a promise to Rigby and I'm gonna keep it.
But instead of witty surrealism, Breadwinners relied on memes, gags, and dance breaks. And as a result, it burned bright for 2 seasons, then got burnt off the schedule. After Nickelodeon, it was Disney's turn to take a shot at the formula. Out came Pickle and Peanut, and it might be the strangest one yet. Every episode followed the recipe perfectly with a spoonful of small issues cooked with bizarre escalation and served with a completely bizarre meltdown, like the episode Body Spray, where they become obsessed with a fancy cologne called Crossbow. And when they can't afford it, they try making their own. Soon, the entire town becomes hooked. People go feral. Society literally starts collapsing all over body spray? Then there's Meatballers. It starts with them selling expired meat out of a food truck. By the end, they have triggered a full-blown mob war built on meatballs. And in Greg, Pickle lends out his talking pimple friend, yes, pimple friend, to impress a cooler kid. What follows is betrayal, jealousy, and a meltdown that ends with a literal prison break. This might have actually worked with a shred of emotional grounding, but sadly, Pickle and Peanut doubled down on loud, chaotic nonsense just for the sake of being weird. It was like getting blasted with a meme cannon for 11 minutes straight, and not in a fun way. 2 seasons later, the audience just had enough. But this was not all, because in 2016, Cartoon Network tried to fill the giant regular show hole and our hearts with Apple and Onion. At first glance, it isn't a regular show clone, but instead a show about talking food living in a big city. But when you take a closer look at the episodes, the DNA is still the same. 2 oddballs, a small problem, and wild escalation. In episode 3 from season 1, named Tips, Apple and Onion want to go on a hot air balloon ride only to realize they don't have enough money. They work tirelessly in Pizza's diner to make $200 in tips.
No more mistakes going forward.
Thank you very much. Don't mention it. Have some tips. Making those tips all day long.
But hold on, remember when Mordecai and Rigby worked all night for concert tickets? Yeah, coincidence? I think not. Then there is the episode Falafel Goes to Jail from season 2, where Falafel is arrested for a string of alleged headset robberies, and Apple and Onion refuse to let their friends rot in jail. What starts as a low-key attempt to rescue Falafel turns into a full-blown wreck when the duo drags the entire prison cell using a stolen tractor, with Falafel still inside.
The Falafel headphone thief story continues to unfold. Aerial footage clearly shows Apple and Onion using agricultural property,
My tractor.
to damage public property
Not jail.
in an attempt to break out their master and overlord, the infamous Falafel.
And I'm the one that caught it. And I'm gonna catch you too.
And by the end of the episode, Apple and Onion are wanted criminals themselves. Both the shows had eccentric duos and plenty of weirdness, but Apple and Onion leaned more towards a wholesome sitcom vibe than Mordecai and Rigby's surreal mayhem. It was cute, it was quirky, and it had fans, but unlike the regular show, it never became iconic. After 2 seasons, Cartoon Network quietly wrapped it up, and the world moved on. And then there's Close Enough. This one was not a knockoff. It came from the regular show's creator, J.G. Quintel himself. Same vibes, same escalation, but this time, the problem wasn't slacking off at work. It was juggling marriage, parenting, and barely holding it together in their 30s. Like in Time Hooch from season 2, Josh and Alex travel back in time to fix Alex's broken relationship with Bridget using magic moonshine, of course. Then there's The Perfect House from season 1, where Emily gets addicted to touring open houses as a way to escape her crumbling home life, and reality starts to slip. It had the same absurdism, but without the same heart. Regular show worked because of its characters. Mordecai, Rigby, Skips, and even Benson, they were weird, flawed, and genuinely fun to watch. You simply remember them. Close Enough failed to do that. It leaned too hard into the millennial adulting is hard cliche. The jokes hit familiar beats. Marriage problems, parenting stress, rent anxiety, but they didn't land with the same charm. But that didn't mean the show was bad. While copycats were trying to ride the wave, Close Enough was the only one that understood what made regular show actually work. Because it came from the same brain, just with more bills to pay. Fans loved it. But thanks to HBO Max's massive content purge, it unfortunately only survived 3 seasons before being pulled. All these shows nailed the chaos, but lacked the soul. Regular show was not just about a pair of goofballs and reality-breaking meltdowns. It was about characters you actually want to hang out with, even when they were being a little bit dumb. And that's why Mordecai and Rigby will always be the OG.
But jumping right back into some love triangle lore, I'm about to determine who Mordecai should have ended up with at the end of regular show. From being heartbroken by Margaret multiple times,
I'm sorry, but I can't be your girlfriend.
to getting chased by Starla, who ended up madly in love with him, Mordecai's love life explores different kinds of relationships with multiple partners, leaving everyone confused about who he should have ended up with. Mordecai, a 23-year-old groundskeeper at the park, lives with his best friend Rigby, who is known for his laid-back, lazy, optimistic personality. But despite having a great vibe, his indecisiveness and fear of commitment led to multiple heartbreaks. Throughout the show's 8 seasons, Mordecai grows from a slacker into someone who values relationships and self-improvement. His love life starting with Margaret, who was his first crush in the early stages of the show. Mordecai first met Margaret Smith in Season 1, Episode 3, Caffeinated Concert Tickets. They started as friends, bonding over park adventures and group hangouts with Rigby and Eileen. Their friendship turned romantic as Mordecai developed a huge crush, seen in episodes like It's Time, where jealousy over Rigby almost ruins everything.
You're gonna have to excuse Mordecai here. He has a hard time trying to espresso himself.
Good one, Rigby. I'll be back with your food, guys.
Dude, did you see how hard Margaret laughed at me? Oh, dude. You're jealous! Admit it!
Dude, I'm not!
By Season 3's Camping Can Be Cool, they even shared a wholesome moment, deepening their connection. And things reached a whole new level in Butt Dial when Mordecai accidentally sent a voicemail confessing his love, which Margaret found cute and saved as her ringtone.
So you can just go ahead and erase that message now.
Oh no, that song is way too good to lose.
What? Come on.
No, actually I'm gonna set it to be your personal ringtone.
You're kidding, right?
Nope, that way I can hear you singing every time you call me. So you better call me.
Oh.
Their romance peaked in Meteor Moves, with a kiss during a meteor shower, officially moving out of the friend zone. And Mordecai's love for Margaret was even more evident in Death Bear, where he did everything he could to save her from an attacking bear, leaving a clear clue for everyone that she was the one he would do anything for. And just like that, they started dating, sharing moments like in Family BBQ, where Mordecai met her family and jumped from a helicopter, breaking bones, but earning respect. But while Margaret and Mordecai had sparks, her actions often led him hurt, dodging commitments and breaking his heart. Beneath her perky feathers and sunny smile, Margaret had flaws that turned fans against her. The bad breath incident and bad kiss humiliated Mordecai. After their first kiss, Margaret pulled away due to his smelly breath, leaving him embarrassed without even addressing his feelings properly.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't.
No, it's fine. It's just...
What?
Your breath is really bad.
Oh my gosh.
However, her biggest betrayal came in Stake Me Amadeus, where Mordecai confessed his love for her and asked her to be his girlfriend, but she rejected him, using her acceptance to Milton University as an excuse to leave for her journalism career.
Will you be my girlfriend?
Mordecai, there's something I need to tell you. For the first time ever, I feel like I could be in a relationship that could actually go somewhere. But there's this. I got into my dream school. I really like you, Mordecai, and what we have is special. But I may never get this opportunity again. I'm sorry, but I can't be your girlfriend.
This left Mordecai so depressed he ended up isolating himself, where he struggled to move on. Her ambition over love painted her as selfish, eroding her wholesome image as the kind waitress fans used to love. But just as Margaret initially didn't work out for Mordecai, things got pretty wild as he found an awkward match later on. Starla Guts Mendatir, or Muscle Man's tough girlfriend, crossed paths with Mordecai in an unusual way. In Muscle Woman, after Muscle Man got dumped, Mordecai pretended to date Starla just to make things work for Muscle Man and get him back to work. But suddenly, things clicked between them when Starla was swayed by Mordecai's sweet talk about love and feelings.
Muscle Man never talked to me that way. He didn't like talking about his feelings. But you're different.
As a result, in order to dump Starla, Mordecai had to go on fake dates, like taking her to the beach, so that she would realize Muscle Man's value again. But Starla's bold, muscular personality clashed with Mordecai's chill vibe, and though they might have shared some laughs, it felt weird since she was Muscle Man's ex at the time. Also because it was, well, Starla. And just like that, the affair did not work out as Starla ended up being with Muscle Man while marrying him in the end. But Mordecai's single life didn't last long, as he soon entered a relationship with CJ, who loved him for who he was and cared for him deeply. Just when Mordecai thought Margaret was getting engaged with her cousin, Mordecai became so desperate and wanted to escape from his sadness and ultimately ended up dating random strangers he found online. And just when he thought love wasn't meant for him, CJ entered Mordecai's life like an angel who showed genuine interest in him.
I've been depressed and just needed to get out of the house. Sorry, I'm sure you're a cool girl and all, but I'm not interested in dating anyone right now.
That's cool.
Really?
Yeah, we can just try being friends. Maybe I can cheer you up. Come on, let's get out of here.
Unlike Margaret, CJ accepted Mordecai fully, bonding over video games, movies, and adventures. In Dodge This, they reconnected at a dodgeball tournament, agreeing to be friends before romance bloomed.
Do you want to start over as friends?
Yeah, I'd love to. You know, like as friends.
But their first actual date in the episode Real Date was sweet, with CJ giving him a charm bracelet that ended up saving his life from a villain.
Mordecai? I thought you were dead.
She cared deeply about Mordecai, supporting him in Maxin and Relaxin, meeting his parents, and in daddy issues, Mordecai even helped her confront her critical father. However, CJ was notorious for her anger issues. When upset, she turned into a danger storm cloud, causing mass destruction, like in Yes Dude Yes, where she was seen raging over a misunderstanding. And this didn't go unnoticed by the fans as they criticized, saying, "This girl has rage like no other in this show." But apart from these, the CJ Mordecai duo performed really well on TV because of their understanding of each other. The reason was simple. CJ was always there for Mordecai, and unlike Margaret, she didn't embarrass him about his breath or dodge him while he was getting emotionally attached. Instead, she just jumped straight into the relationship with Mordecai without all the excessive drama. And her bold character didn't go unnoticed by the fans, as they appreciated her supportive behavior toward Mordecai, saying that CJ was the best for Mordecai. But just when Mordecai and CJ were doing great, Margaret had to come back and sabotage everything. Because Margaret returned in season 6 after graduating, stirring drama in Merry Christmas Mordecai. At Eileen's Christmas party, Margaret admitted lingering feelings, and they kissed in front of CJ, who saw and fled heartbroken. As Mordecai's first love, he couldn't fully get over Margaret, leading to emotional cheating.
No!
Oh my gosh.
I didn't mean to do
really
that.
wasn't. I mean, Mordecai? No, it's not.
CJ, wait!
But Mordecai understood his fault, and in sad sacks, Mordecai tried to win CJ back, but kept seeing Margaret, causing more misunderstandings.
I don't know what happened.
You don't? Because I can refresh your memory.
No. I just mean, it was crazy. It didn't mean anything, I swear.
The triangle peaked in 1000th Chopper Flight Party, where CJ's anger exploded after thinking Mordecai was doing romance with Margaret, ultimately destroying a whole party. Margaret's comeback was the main reason Mordecai and CJ didn't work out despite their strong bond. And in Dumped at the Altar, at Muscleman's wedding, Mordecai's speech about uncertainty humiliated CJ, leading to their final breakup.
Sure, look at Muscleman and Starla. It's like they were designed for each other. So where's my soulmate? Are they in this room? It could be anyone. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's that really old lady, I don't know.
Why are you talking?
Oh, right. My point is, I don't know if there's one perfect person out there for me, but I know that for a long time I've been ignoring my gut because I didn't want to hurt anyone. But instead of saving their feelings, it's just made everyone around me miserable. For the first time, I'm gonna take Rigby's advice. CJ, I need to tell you...
Mordecai, just stop. I already know what you're gonna say, so save it. You don't know who your soulmate is? Here. You didn't even point in my direction.
CJ!
And just like that, Margaret's actions exploited Mordecai's weakness for her, turning her into the villain in fans' eyes. These love complexities affected Mordecai badly. In the finale, while Rigby and Eileen, Muscleman and Starla, and others had couple moments, Mordecai was still single, focusing on his life and art. He found peace post-breakups, but the drama left scars. However, the epilogue shows hope as Mordecai meets Steph in the end. Bumping into each other while signing autographs, they locked eyes and fell in love. And then, in the 25-year reunion epilogue, Steph ends up being Mordecai's wife with 3 hybrid kids. Their match is ideal because they bond over art, Mordecai's lifelong dream, and build a stable family life, free from past chaos. But with so many twists in Mordecai's love life, questions arise. Who was really the best fit for him? The question became a burning topic as Mordecai's love life received a lot of attention from fans. As a result, a Reddit poll from around 2021 asked, who do you think Mordecai should have ended up with? Where fans showed split opinions. Many preferred CJ for her loyalty and fun, while Margaret faced harsh criticism, with one user commenting, I like CJ and think she was better for him, with others saying she was definitely the one for him. However, some people had different opinions, saying CJ was toxic, with a large number of fans still rooting for Margaret, even after her better dating history with Mordecai. Despite the divide, Steph emerged as the healthiest option for Mordecai, and fans loved her as well since she shared his dreams and supported his growth. But of course, some of them were seen making fun of Mordecai's love life, labeling Starla as the right fit for him too. The discussion shows that people have different perceptions of Mordecai's love life and, ultimately, held different opinions in the end. Unfortunately, CJ was never seen in the show's finale, which is exactly why I'm now gonna take a deeper look into her disturbing downfall. From being Mordecai's dream girl, loved unconditionally by fans, to being left, broken, and abandoned by the one she loved most, CJ's story in regular show is a heartbreaking reminder that even giving your all doesn't always lead to a happy ending. CJ, or Cloudy J, flew into Mordecai's life as someone who finally understood his struggles, with the pure intention of emotionally supporting him throughout his life. With her undeniable loyalty and her unwavering attempt to be there for Mordecai, she quickly became the most admired love interest to enter his life. She burst onto the scene in season 3's Yes Dude Yes, branding herself with a plaid shirt and bold grin just to date Mordecai. And even though Mordecai was extremely depressed after thinking Margaret got engaged, he still dated several women, including CJ, in a desperate attempt to get over that horrible feeling. But unlike the others, CJ was different as she understood Mordecai's sadness and tried to cheer him up instead of completely ditching the date like the others.
No.
Dude, just be real with me.
You're right. My friend talked me into coming here. I've been depressed and just needed to get out of the house. Sorry, I'm sure you're a cool girl and all, but I'm not interested in dating anyone right now.
That's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Her carefree vibe, laughing with Mordecai, going go-karting, and visiting art galleries with him made her an instant hit. Unlike the polished Margaret, who Mordecai constantly had troubles with, CJ was raw and real, ready to dive into any adventure. Her vibes also impressed the fans too, as they raved CJ's a way better match for Mordecai. And just like that, her debut episode ended with a soft wave that felt like a promise of more fun to come. However, even though she was adored by all, moments in multiple scenes throughout the series began to expose who she truly was.
Some kind of game? Is this a game to you?
What? No!
How many other girls did you invite to this movie?
I only have 2 tickets!
CJ's story was an insane roller coaster ride in Mordecai's life, with millions of different opinions being posted about her everywhere. But when exactly did the tragedy begin? By season 5, CJ was more than just a fling. She became Mordecai's anchor. In the episode Real Date, she was shown fully blending in with the park crew and having a blast. Not only that, but she was also seen secretly planning a romantic evening at a fancy restaurant just to make Mordecai feel special.
Tonight has to be amazing, you know? Maybe I can get a special dessert for Mordecai.
Yeah, what does he like?
Waffles, chocolate.
There's a new pastry shop downtown that specializes in chocolate-covered
And even when Mordecai was seen fumbling, tripping over his words, CJ just laughed with warm eyes and comforted him. And things went further in Portable Toilet when she braved a disgusting porta potty just to rescue Mordecai and Rigby from a prank gone wrong, glowing with determination. Eventually, her role grew, appearing in over 35 episodes by 2014, with her spunky energy making her a fan favorite worldwide. Her support shown in the small moments too, like in Playdate where she teased Mordecai about the hug, but reassured him right afterwards, making sure that he felt comfortable.
Hey!
Hi, hey, so, I'm glad you could make it out tonight.
Whoa, you're a real move maker today.
Oh, I mean, I thought...
Hey, I'm just teasing. It's cool. You already got me on a date. There's no need to impress me.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm cool.
All right, cool guy. What are we doing on this hot date?
And this didn't go unnoticed by the fans, as they wrote, CJ's the real one. However, it wasn't exactly a bed of roses for Mordecai, because just like everyone has their red flags, CJ had her flaws too, as her stormy side sparked a lot of trouble. In the episode Daddy Issues, she got mad instantly simply because she missed a golf shot.
How did I not know you're amazing at this?
I'm full of surprises. That shot! It was so easy!
Whoa, CJ. No need to get upset.
And in Yes Dude Yes, she was seen raging at Mordecai when she witnessed him asking Margaret on a date, literally right after he planned it with CJ.
I only have 2 tickets!
But things reached its absolute peak in 1000th Chopper Flight Party when her jealousy flared as she thought Mordecai was flirting with Margaret, zapping a helicopter in a fiery outburst. These consistent actions caught the attention of fans, who ended up saying that she had a bad temper and that she is emotionally unstable. But even after her character split fans into 2, her role in Mordecai's life was undeniably impactful. Because while Margaret toyed with Mordecai's emotions, CJ was his rock. Margaret always had charm, but a selfish streak. In Butt Dial, she laughed at Mordecai's accident love confession, and while she lightly flirted with him afterwards, she ultimately chose to go on a date with another guy over his feelings. Similarly, in Stake Me Amadeus, she straight up rejected his big confession at a fancy steakhouse, leaving him absolutely crushed.
Margaret? Will you be my girlfriend?
Mordecai, there's something I need to tell you. For the first time ever, I feel like I could be in a relationship that could actually go somewhere. But there's this. I got into my dream school. I really like you, Mordecai, and what we have is special. But I may never get this opportunity again. I'm sorry, but I can't be your girlfriend.
And just like that, while Margaret once embarrassed him by saying his breath smelled while kissing, things completely turned around in New Year's Kiss. Because at a masked party, when Mordecai panicked about the midnight kiss, CJ pulled him right in for a kiss, her smile easing all of his nerves.
12 o'clock isn't over yet. We can still make the best of this.
Huh?
And this also got the attention of the internet as they cheered CJ over Margaret, and that they loved CJ and Mordecai being together. And to be fair, the reason was simple. CJ's love was grounded, not flashy. Where Margaret chased journalism dreams, often ignoring Mordecai, CJ lived for the moment. And her loyalty shown in the episode, I Like You High, when she read Mordecai's awkward text confession, giving him a wink and reassuring him right away what it truly meant. Small moments like this showed fans how much CJ really understood Mordecai, which makes it extremely difficult to understand why she ultimately didn't end up with him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wait, what does a winky face mean? That means yes. Don't misinterpret it. Haha. All right. See you soon.
I'm proud of you, man. Extreme you jump!
By this point, even Rigby was also convinced that CJ was way cooler than Margaret and overall a better match for Mordecai.
Dude, CJ's way cooler than Margaret.
Yes, I agree. And despite her anger being criticized by people multiple times, it actually proved helpful when she saved Mordecai in the episode Real Date. Using her stormy cloud of rage, she fought off a villain who tried to hurt Mordecai and nearly ended his life.
Mordecai? I thought you were dead.
This moment was so wholesome that it even turned many of her haters into fans, as some fans on the internet came up and asked, "What are your thoughts on CJ?" Where 85% of people said they actually liked her character. Even after all her love and loyalty though, CJ and Mordecai unfortunately couldn't make it work. I guess for some reason the writers didn't see CJ as the perfect match. Instead of building on CJ's heartfelt arc, Mordecai leaned into Margaret's drama, letting her shadow drown CJ's light. Mordecai's first love had a hold on him, and CJ had to pay the price. From the beginning, Mordecai was always weak toward Margaret, even after being with CJ, which is where things really messed up.
I really do like CJ.
Duh, you do.
I'm just afraid of what'll happen because part of me is still waiting for Margaret to come back.
Because in Season 6's Merry Christmas, Mordecai, Margaret swooped back to the park for a holiday party.
But hold on, she didn't just return. Because further into this episode, Margaret ended up kissing Mordecai right in front of CJ.
This event tore the fans apart as they erupted on the internet, posting Margaret was the worst and that CJ deserved better. But Mordecai understood his fault and tried to fix it in sad sacks, convincing CJ and himself that there was absolutely nothing between him and Margaret. He begged her to stay, promising to focus on their love only. It was all going perfectly until Margaret randomly called with a custom ringtone, which ultimately destroyed any chance of CJ forgiving Mordecai. Even though CJ eventually softened, with her cloud form calming, there was still more waiting for her. The love triangle affected her life terribly, and in Muscle Man's wedding, everyone witnessed the final blow. During a toast, Muscle Man asked Mordecai who his soulmate was, and instead of directly mentioning CJ's name, Mordecai froze, unable to choose between CJ and Margaret, and started talking about irrelevant topics toward the crowd. This infuriated CJ, her storm brewing as she walked out from the wedding while breaking up with Mordecai.
Hey man, how'd it go?
CJ and I are gonna take a break for a while.
Sorry, man.
CJ's tearful exit in Muscle Man's wedding broke fans' hearts, painting her as a victim of Mordecai's indecision and Margaret's chaos, saying she was treated like a punching bag. Despite being a victim of the writer's chosen storyline, CJ actually performed better among fans. Viewership data from 2025 shows that CJ's episodes, like Real Date and Portable Toilet, had better ratings in IMDb than Margaret's. Yet CJ slowly faded, defining the story through Mordecai's indecision rather than through CJ's pure love. By the series finale, a regular epic final battle, the park crew all got their happy endings. Rigby and Eileen married, Muscle Man and Starla stayed strong, but CJ? She was gone, never to be seen again. She didn't even get a single scene, unlike Margaret, who at least got mentions. CJ's absence felt like a punch to fans who loved and cheered for her. A 2024 Reddit post said, "The regular show really did her character dirty," while pointing out how great she truly was. Where people said, Mordecai didn't deserve her anyway. I even made a post for you guys asking who was the best girlfriend for Mordecai, where over 85% of you chanted CJ's name altogether. CJ's fate stayed a mystery, with her story washed away like rain. However, her story arc teaches a tough but important lesson. Even the truest love can fade if it's not returned.
And just to steer away from the love chaos again, I want to show you guys how strong Rigby really is.
Now, everybody knows Mordecai is the cool dude in regular show. But hold up, Rigby is the one you really gotta watch out for. On the surface, he's just a tiny raccoon, munching snacks and dodging work like it's his job. But under that fuzzy tail, this guy's got some insane power. From sending Pops to space with one punch, to fighting giant monsters, Today, we're going to be going over Rigby's 7 different levels of strength and find out just how crazy strong he really is. And even at 1% power, he's not as weak as he looks, because in the power, Rigby and Mordecai end up snagging a magic keyboard that makes anything they say come true.
Go away, big monster. Go. No.
Rigby doesn't even blink an eye and says, "Send Skips to the moon," and before you know it, Skips swirls away into existence.
Go away, Skips. It's time for you to go away.
It's time for you to go to your room.
Yeah, Skips. It's time for you to go to the moon.
Skips then starts bouncing around in space like a lost ping pong ball.
Look, it's Skips. There he is.
Sure, it's technically the keyboard's magic, but Rigby's the one that was actually bold enough to say it out loud with absolutely no fear whatsoever. Not only that, he finally saved the whole park gang from being attacked by, well, whatever this thing is. But surprisingly, what most people don't know is that even with only 1% of his power, he ended up facing off against a monster. In the episode called Set Up the Chairs, when a giant monster named the Destroyer of Worlds crashes the party, Rigby doesn't just hide like a scaredy cat, or scaredy raccoon. He grabs a rock and chucks it right at the monster's face in hopes of distracting it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay, it bounces off like a paper ball and does absolutely nothing, but come on, a tiny raccoon throwing a rock at a beast the size of a building in hopes to distract it and possibly kill him? That's some real bravery for a guy who'd rather be playing video games all day. But Rigby's courage went even further when he saw the monster lunging toward Mordecai. Realizing his friend was in danger, Rigby went full madman, doing absolutely whatever it took, and ended up firing 1,000,000 burgers per second at the monster, ultimately defeating it in the end.
That was some pretty sweet button mashing.
I told you I got skills.
All for his best friend. At 1% power, Rigby showed his immense bravery. But what happens when his power hits 5%? Well, at 5% power, Rigby's brain starts moving fast. In Meet Your Maker, Rigby and Mordecai mess up with the living hot dogs, who didn't want to get fried and ended up starting a rebellion. To fight them off, Rigby came up with the idea of spraying mustard all over the living hot dogs, causing them to eat each other like raging cannibals. And just like that, Rigby saved his friends and took down a whole group of wiener rebels without even using his raw strength. At 5% power, Rigby's got quick thinking and super fast reflexes that make him an absolute beast. But at 10% power, things start to change dramatically. Because in the best burger in the world, Rigby and Mordecai are dying to try the world's best burger. But their boss, Benson, keeps piling on more chores like cleaning the fountain and scrubbing the bathrooms.
Then neither one of you is going near that burger truck.
And of course, Rigby's not buying it. So he comes up with a sneaky plan to completely ditch work, outsmarting Benson and a tricky food truck guy who's guarding the burger like it's gold.
2 ultimatums!
Is that it?
Yes!
Can I get your names?
Mordecai and Rigby!
But when their holograms try to steal the burger, Rigby goes full ninja mode, jumping like a pro and instantly hurling a rock straight at his hologram, shattering it on the spot. And just like that, they destroy their copies. Even though the fight was handled by both Mordecai and Rigby, Rigby was the one who once again showed his bravery by initiating it. However, at 25% power, Rigby starts pulling off some crazy stuff that makes you go,
whoa, dude.
At 25% power, Rigby gets a little mad, which is all it takes for things to go absolutely nuts. In Death Punchies, Rigby's sick of losing to Mordecai in Punchies, their arm punching game where Mordecai's bigger fists always win. So, Rigby sneaks off to a creepy dojo in the park and learns the Death Punch from a sketchy old dude who smells like old socks. Rigby trains like a maniac, practicing on his own wooden dresser, and of course screaming, "Ham boning!" He comes back and hits Muscle Man, Benson, and Skips all with the Death Punch, sending them all flying either into a house, out of the sky, and even through a wall like a cartoon cannonball. Then he smashes the ground so hard that he creates a giant crater big enough to swallow a truck. And honestly, that's superhero level strength right there that shakes the entire park. Just like that, he ended up making the whole park gang his servants thanks to his immense Death Punch strength. Even at just a quarter of his full strength, he's already mastering 4 forbidden powers. But at 50% power, Rigby starts messing with the entire regular show universe itself and ends up causing some insane mayhem that we're about to get into. Because in Exit 9B, the park gets taken over by an evil guy named Garrett Bobby Ferguson Jr., who's GFB's son. And let's just say, super bad news. He brainwashes everyone except Mordecai and Rigby, turning the park into a boring office filled with cubicles and paperwork. But Rigby doesn't just hide under a desk and let it slide. He leads the charge to save the day, fighting off goons like he's in a video game. Then he helps Mordecai use a magic contract to restore Benson's memories, saving the whole park from being erased forever. This type of strength also remains the same in a bunch of full-grown geese when the park gets attacked by super mean geese who are wrecking everything, ripping out trees, breaking the park house, and much more. Rigby teams up with Mordecai and some baby ducks who combine into a giant laser-blasting duck monster. Rigby's right there helping control the duck mech like a pro pilot, blasting the geese into another dimension with glowing laser beams and an explosion that lights up the sky.
Game over, geese.
Fools! The game of Duck, Duck, Goose will never end. There will be future lakes, future sandwiches to ruin.
Hey, geese! Step on!
Awesome!
Thanks, dudes. We couldn't have done it without you.
Anytime! Mordecai and Rigby!
So, at 50% power, Rigby's breaking all the rules of what a raccoon can do, which is just straight up awesome.
We got rid of the geese. Yeah, and half the park along with them.
But what happens if his power goes up to 69%? At 69% power, Rigby goes completely nuts in rage against the TV. In this episode, Rigby's relentless determination and quick thinking shine as he faces the Hammer, a formidable video game boss turned real-life threat. The challenge starts with him and Mordecai battling through a brutal side-scrolling game, only to hit a wall against the Hammer, whose single punch can wipe out one's life instantly. Rigby, who always stubbornly does stupid things, tries to take on the Hammer solo, furiously mashing buttons but struggling, his frustration mounting as the game suddenly blacks out.
Aw, man, come on! Rigby, you finish him off.
What?
Dude, we figured out his weakness. I'll keep the TV on while you beat the Hammer.
All right, let's do it!
But when their TV breaks and a makeshift fix brings the Hammer to life, Rigby's heart races as the monster rampages, even killing Jimmy. Poor guy.
So man, my boss found out that I gave you guys that TV and he fired me. It's cool if I crash here for a couple days. What the?
Despite the chaos, Rigby stays focused, his gamer instincts kicking in when Mordecai shouts about the Hammer's weakness: furniture. Rigby dives into the fray, hurling chairs and tables with the crew, his adrenaline pumping as they weaken the beast. In the clutch moment, Rigby's resolve peaks. He snatches a controller from the Hammer's hands and, alongside Mordecai, smashes it into the villain's head screen, landing the final blow. After winning the battle, Rigby high-fives the group like nothing even happened. But Rigby ultimately showcased his full potential when his power hit 100% in a regular epic final battle. The park gang faces Anti-Pops, a giant evil version of Pops who wants to wipe out the entire universe. In this moment, Rigby's not just tagging along, he does his level best by piloting spaceships, dodging laser blasts, and literally risking his life to protect his friends. Not only that, Mordecai and Rigby are even seen using Rigby's magic keyboard to make Anti-Pops vanish. In the end, it's the love and teamwork between Rigby, Mordecai, and the gang that beats Anti-Pops and saves the day. Rigby's heart makes him stronger than quite literally any monster or space villain, like a raccoon with a glowing, universe-saving aura. However, in Fists of Justice, we also witness Rigby's bravery at its peak. Initially, Rigby is stoked to take on Skips' chores, thinking it's an easy way to slack off while Skips prepares to fight his cosmic nemesis. But when Rigby's carelessness accidentally crushes Skips' hands under heavy equipment, he's hit with a wave of guilt, realizing he's sidelined their strongest fighter. Faced with Clorgbane, Rigby steps up, slipping on the Fists of Justice alongside Mordecai. The gauntlets, glowing with godly power, feel like wrestling a wild animal, overwhelming Rigby with their raw energy. He flails at first, his punches sloppy and uncontrolled, panic setting in as Clorgbane looms closer. Drawing in on his gaming instincts, Rigby treats the fists like video game controllers, mashing imaginary buttons and syncing his moves with Mordecai. This shift clicks, letting him channel the fist's power to land bone-rattling blows, ultimately toppling Clorgbane. Rigby's heart pounds with pride, his quick thinking and redemption turning a screw-up into a cosmic victory, proving he has the guts to wield real power when it counts. Now, even though we've seen Skips punching Clorgbane and sending him to another universe, this is the first time Rigby did the same, and that shows one thing. At 100% power, he can even rival Skips, despite having a comparatively tiny body. So we can now see that Rigby's not just Mordecai's sidekick. He's a tiny furry powerhouse who goes from chucking rocks at monsters 100 times his size to breaking reality and saving the universe. He's smashing TVs, outsmarting villains, and zooming through space like a raccoon rocket. But his real power? That's his love for Mordecai and the park crew. If Rigby and Mordecai ever fused like some cartoon superheroes, the whole universe would be toast. Instant game over to any villains who challenged them.
But if you thought Rigby was a strong one here, Mordecai was emotionally strong throughout the whole series. And you're about to see why after I show you the times Mordecai ruined his life in seconds.
From his awkward first crush to heartbreaks that followed, here is every time Mordecai messed up his love life. One of Mordecai's very first screw-ups happens in caffeinated concert tickets from season 1, which aired on September 20th, 2010. The episode starts with Mordecai and Rigby doing what they do best, slacking off and talking about an upcoming concert. Rigby is hyped up for the band, but Mordecai literally could not care less. That is, until he finds out Margaret is going, and suddenly, he's all in.
It's gonna be fun. You guys gonna go?
I'm totally gonna go.
Oh, so now you're gonna...
Mordecai and Rigby realize they don't have enough money for the tickets, so they shockingly strike a deal with Benson, who agrees to give them cash if they do their chores in overtime.
Here's a list of things we need done. When you finish them, you'll get your money.
But then, Giant Coffee Bean and its translator show up, offering them help to stay awake and get the work done.
As you can see, I am a giant coffee bean. I can bring you caffeine. Do you accept?
Wait, what?
Coffee, 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 coffee.
They work hard and pull a brutal all-nighter fueled by endless caffeine, just so they can scrape together enough cash to attend the concert.
Dude, I'm fading fast.
Don't worry, dude. We just gotta fight it with
coffee.
Mordecai's real goal here isn't the music though. He just wants to impress Margaret. He plans on finally making a move. Rigby tags along, more for the concert than the romance.
Hey, Mordecai!
Hey, Margaret! Fist pump!
Mordecai! You have to meet my boyfriend, Slasher! Hey, Slasher, that's my friend Mordecai!
You should tell your friend he should stop pumping it in the wind and start pumping it at the gym.
Don't be such a jerk.
You're dead!
But this plan backfires spectacularly. After pushing themselves to the absolute limit with the coffee overload, they crash from exhaustion right before the event.
Oh, this sucks.
Don't worry about her. You'll get another chance.
Dude, wake up! They're about to come out!
Wait. Must stay awake. Must see best band of all time. Crud.
But if staying awake for Margaret wasn't bad enough, the next time Mordecai let his nerves take over was even more embarrassing. This episode showed Mordecai epically failing before he even got a chance. However, Bud Dial shows him creating his own terrible disaster. This episode begins with Mordecai nervously talking about Margaret as he and Rigby clean up after a party. While taking out the trash, Mordecai starts singing a cheesy love song about Margaret. No big deal, except he accidentally butt dialed her mid-performance.
So good, like I knew it would. Laughing together and having a blast, and I hope it lasts forever. I can't believe how hot she is, makes my insides feel like knotted twists. Her pretty face and those long, long legs, and I hope someday we are more than just friends.
And instead of deleting it, he panics and ends up sending the voicemail straight to her. Classic Mordecai.
If you're satisfied with your message, press 1.
Huh?
To delete and re-record your message, press 2.
No! Delete!
Message sent. Goodbye.
Oh my
Mortified, he and Rigby scramble into a chaotic mission of breaking into Margaret's phone and deleting the voicemail before she even hears it.
Margaret and I have a complicated relationship, okay?
Relationship?
We don't have time for this! Will you please just delete the message?
But of course, it all backfires. Just when Mordecai thinks he's safe, Margaret listens to the voicemail, laughs it off, and walks away.
New message.
Hanging with Margaret just to feel so good, like I knew it would. Laughing together and having a blast, and I hope it lasts forever.
Stop, I've heard enough.
Try to use my fingers to dial next time, not my butt.
And that wouldn't be the first time he let his paranoia ruin everything. In fact, his biggest misunderstanding was just around the corner. In season 3, Mordecai jumps to conclusion when he sees some yellow bird kneeling in front of Margaret with her exclaiming,
Yes, dude, yes.
before hugging him.
Yes, dude, yes.
Mordecai assumes she is engaged and spirals. Trying to move on from Margaret, Mordecai signs up for a dating site and ends up meeting CJ, a cloud girl who just wants to hang out.
Are you Mordecai?
Yeah, Cloudy J.
That's just my screen name. You can just call me CJ.
They start having fun together, and things actually look good for once. And just when CJ starts liking him, Mordecai discovers that Margaret was never engaged and the yellow bird was her cousin.
There's something I've been meaning to tell you for a long time.
Sure, but can it wait a sec? There's someone I want you guys to meet. Guys, this is my cousin, John.
Cousin?
Yeah, he finally got a new leg today.
Foolishly, thinking he still has a chance, he immediately asks Margaret to the movies.
Do you want to see Lovebot 2 with me tonight? I've got a pair of tickets.
Tonight? Yeah, sure, I'd love to.
Great, it's a date then.
CJ sees this, furiously storms out, and the whole thing blows up in his face.
Love is highly illogical. Love me, love me, love me, love me.
But even after humiliatingly blowing it with both girls, Mordecai gets another chance with Margaret in the episode Bad Kiss. When after a movie night, Mordecai returns to Margaret's car to grab his forgotten wallet, creating the perfect moment for a kiss.
Glove compartment?
Yeah, I checked there already.
Oh,
They lean in, but Margaret pulls away. Why? Well, because his breath reeks from a chili dog.
Oh, sorry, I shouldn't.
no, it's fine. It's just,
What?
your breath is really bad.
Humiliated, Mordecai panics and convinces Rigby to help fix it with a time machine. What follows is a chaotic journey through time as Mordecai obsessively tries to prevent the bad breath moment, tracking down his past self, stopping meals, even forcing mouthwash. In the end, despite all the time travel and effort, Mordecai finds himself back in the car with Margaret. When the moment for the kiss comes again, he overthinks it. Fearing another embarrassment, he pulls away, pretending to find his wallet instead.
Found it.
Oh, great. That's great. I'm glad
So
you...
anyway, do you want to head inside?
Sure.
Who's ready for more to shakes?
Missing chances became Mordecai's trademark, but in the very next season, fate handed him what looked like the perfect opportunity. In picking up Margaret, he offers to drive her to the airport, and she happily accepts. When they arrive, Margaret thanks Mordecai for always being someone she could depend on. This was golden, the perfect moment to finally say how he really felt. But in classic Mordecai fashion, he freezes. The words just won't come out. Surprisingly, this time Margaret takes the lead and kisses him before heading onto her plane. Mordecai walks out of the airport on cloud 9. Yet his big moment is bittersweet. He got the kiss, but once again failed to actually say the words he had been holding back for so long.
Wait. Good luck.
Thanks.
Nothing. Sorry. See ya.
See you soon.
And that hesitation came back to haunt him in Stake Me Amadeus, because when he finally did confess, it was at the worst possible time. After endless awkward flirting and near confessions, he finally works up the courage to ask Margaret out on a proper date. And to his surprise, she says yes. Determined to make the night perfect, Mordecai books a table at one of the most expensive restaurants around called Stake Me Amadeus. Luckily, he has Amadeus dollars, special coupons to cover the cost.
Yeah? Where you taking her? Cheezers? Wing Kingdom?
No, dude. Someplace way nicer. Stake Me Amadeus.
Dude, that place is crazy expensive. How you gonna pay for it?
Bam! Amadeus dollars!
But because this is Mordecai, things never go his way. What should have been a romantic dinner turns into chaos when the FBI raids the place, chasing down a counterfeit Amadeus dollar ring. And right there, with bullets flying overhead, chaos erupting all around them, Mordecai picks that moment to pour his heart out. After everything he did to make the night perfect, all the stress, all the planning, he chooses now to confess his feelings.
There's something I want to tell you. The last few weeks I've spent with you have been the best few weeks of my life. I feel like we're growing closer every day, and no one makes me happier than you do. Margaret, will you be my girlfriend?
And if that was not bad enough, Margaret turns him down. Not because she doesn't care for him, but because she's leaving for college and doesn't want to start something she can't continue.
What we have is special, but I may never get this opportunity again. I'm sorry, but I can't be your girlfriend.
For Mordecai, it's devastating. His worst nightmare had come true. Not only was he rejected, but Margaret was leaving his life completely. If only he had confessed earlier, they would have spent more time together. After Margaret left for college, Mordecai tried to move on, but his awkwardness with love wasn't going anywhere. In the episode New Year's Kiss, he vows to be more direct with women, determined not to repeat his mistakes with Margaret. He even asks a girl to a masquerade party, only to find out she was using him to make her boyfriend jealous.
Weird. The good news is, when Tommy finds out I'm with another guy, he'll be so jealous. We're totally gonna get back together.
Mordecai mopes around the party until he bumps into a masked girl. They start talking and hit it off. As the countdown to midnight begins, they watch the couples around them kiss. She suggests they join the kissing crowd since it's still New Year's. Before Mordecai can even think, she kisses him, and he kisses her back.
12 o'clock isn't over yet. We can still make the best of this.
Huh?
When they finally remove their masks, Mordecai discovers the girl is none other than CJ, someone he hadn't seen since the events of Yes Dude Yes.
CJ?
What?
This unexpected reunion set the stage for a brand new chapter in Mordecai's messy love life. He officially starts dating CJ in the episode Playdate, but there's someone always lingering in the back of his mind. Always.
Do you like CJ?
Duh, you do.
I'm just afraid of what'll happen because part of me is still waiting for Margaret to come back.
Daddy's girl.
What? Still? She's not coming back, dude. She's gone.
Look, I know, all right? I know. It's just, I mean, I don't still have feelings for her, but I do in a way.
And in the episode Merry Christmas Mordecai, that someone came back sooner than expected, turning what should have been a happy holiday into a total disaster. The episode starts with Mordecai excited to spend his very first Christmas party with CJ. That is, until Eileen casually drops that Margaret will be there too. Suddenly, Mordecai's brain short circuits. At the party, when Mordecai and CJ run into Margaret, he blurts out a super awkward reminder of their messy dating history.
Night? Did Santa bring you a case of jitters for Christmas?
No, he didn't.
Are you sure nothing's wrong? Huh?
When CJ steps away, Mordecai and Margaret begin to talk. But wait, they don't just talk, they kiss.
No!
Oh my gosh.
And guess who sees it? Yup, CJ.
I mean, Mordecai? No, it's not.
CJ, wait!
Crushed, she runs out in tears, and Mordecai is left scrambling to fix a mistake he didn't even mean to make. The episode ends with Mordecai getting caught between two people again. But for once, Mordecai decides to step up. In the very next episode, Sad Sacks, he finally comes clean to CJ about his past with Margaret. He explains that he and Margaret were in love, but that part of his life is over. They broke up, and he's moved on. CJ, to her credit, appreciates his honesty. Smiling, she tells him what they really should have done at the party: kiss under the mistletoe. It's a rare moment of peace for Mordecai. But knowing his awful luck, how long will it last? Not long at all, because his next blunder turned out to be his biggest one yet in the finale episode of season 6 called Dumped at the Altar, where Mordecai manages to fumble at someone else's wedding. The episode opens with Mordecai and Rigby setting up for Muscle Man's wedding. Talking about CJ and Margaret, as both of them will be there, Rigby advises Mordecai to go with his gut.
What to do, but I will say, I know you, and I think you should go with your gut for once.
During the wedding, Muscleman begins freaking out because he had lost a letter from his dad. Both of them rush to search for it as the groom refuses to get married without his dad's blessings. They soon find it, and Mordecai reads the heartfelt letter from Muscle Dad. The message? Trust your gut. Two separate moments, two people telling Mordecai the same thing.
To Muscle Son on his wedding day.
Son, if you're reading this letter, you've accomplished something very tough. You find yourself wondering if you made the right choice. Remember the old Sorenstein rule.
Trust your gut.
So finally, he decides to act. But it's Mordecai, and if there's one thing he's consistent at, it's timing things in the worst possible way. Instead of having a private conversation with CJ, Mordecai hijacks the entire wedding to talk about his love life. He rambles about soulmates, admits he's confused, says he doesn't know who's the one for him, and instead of making things clearer, he basically exposes all of his doubts publicly. And in doing so, he doesn't just make things weird, he humiliates CJ. Mordecai chases after her, but it's too late. At the reception, Rigby sarcastically asks if following his gut meant dumping his girlfriend at a wedding. Mordecai admits he's terrible at relationships.
So, when I said go with your gut, did you hear completely lose your mind and try to dump your girlfriend at a wedding? Cause that seemed to be the option you went with.
I told you I'm no good at this stuff.
Yeah, you're the worst.
Maybe I'm just not cut out for this romance junk.
Huh, really? And honestly, he is. CJ was as close to a soulmate as anyone could get. She forgave him for leading her on, for cheating, shared his interests, and was the only one who truly believed in him. What more could anyone ask for? He had a chance to be honest, to trust his instincts, to fix things, but instead, fear and confusion won again. And once again, Mordecai totally messed up his love life.
But while we just went over all the times Mordecai ruined his life in a heartbeat, now let's see every time this Blue Jay was an absolute psycho.
From erasing time itself because of pure jealousy, to ruining his entire love story over his ridiculous words, these incidents show every time Mordecai becomes a psycho. On the surface, Mordecai is the taller, calmer half of the park slacker duo, always chasing fun, video games, and of course, a quiet crush on Margaret. Yet something cold lives under that chill exterior, because when jealousy, pride, or obsession grabs the wheel, he flips into a completely different creature, calculating, ruthless, and disturbingly detached. Mordecai's first sign of crazy and heartless behavior showed up in the episode called It's Time. Not sure if y'all remember, but in the start of the episode, you could tell the coffee shop smells like burnt beans and teenage nerves. Mordecai nurses a crush on Margaret, trying his absolute hardest to express his thoughts towards her.
I was wondering, would you, like to,
So, of course, Rigby bounces in, cracks a stupid coffee joke, and Margaret actually laughs at it. Let's just say this didn't go well with Mordecai, as his smile faded instantly and his eyes looked like he had just found his next kill.
You're gonna have to excuse Mordecai here. He has a hard time trying to espresso himself.
Good one, Rigby. I'll be right back with your food, guys.
Even though he insists he's fine, every giggle feels like a needle. Bro was not letting that slide.
You're jealous.
What? No, I'm not.
Dude, you're just jealous because I made her laugh and all you do is sit like this.
Whatever. Just stay out of my way when I'm helping her move.
But things went even worse for him later, because while doing some work carrying boxes, Rigby casually asked Margaret to the zombie dinner party.
Tom, because I only got 2 tickets.
Aw, maybe next time?
No, it's cool.
You guys have a good time.
Okay, I'll see you at 8, Rigby.
All right, dude, I'll go to the movie with you. Just call it off with her.
This made Mordecai so jealous, and out of that jealousy, Mordecai moves like a robot. He rips out Rigby's watch battery, grabs every clock, and stuffs them all into the microwave. As a result, of course, sparks fly and glass breaks. Time itself, though, gets erased, so Rigby can't go on the date anymore.
Why do you have to be jealous all the time?
Shut up! This is all your fault! I finally get a chance to ask out Margaret, but you had to butt in and ruin everything!
No, I didn't! I just wanted to see Zombie Dinner Party with my bro!
This even took them to another timeless dimension of Void, where they decided to fight each other. But Mordecai's insanity reached its peak when he was seen throwing Rigby into the Void out of pure jealousy. Mordecai is horrified, immediately regrets his decisions, and desperately tries his best to fix his mistakes. Now, even though he managed to bring Rigby back eventually by asking for help from Father Time and using a reset button, it was the first instance of Mordecai acting like a complete psychopath who wouldn't think twice about turning against his best friend over a minor argument. Well, it's minor to some of us. Let's just say a best friend should never steal his friend's crush. But not to this guy. The episode earned an 8.7 out of 10 on IMDb, but someone ended up being really annoyed at Mordecai, saying he straight up murders his best friend and shrugs. How could a normal person do that? Yeah, he's got a point. But while jealousy fueled that kill, thirst for control drives the next breakdown in the episode called Jinx. In this episode, a nice shiny quarter hits the ground. Mordecai yells Jinx at the exact same second Rigby picks up the quarter.
Quarter! Jinx!
Yeah, this treasure's my pleasure. Hey!
But Mordecai claims priority, his voice flat and final as the old playground law says, no talking until your name is spoken 3 times. Even though Rigby tries to speak up, it doesn't end well. Mordecai's punch lands perfectly.
You can't talk when you're jinxed, and if you talk, you're gonna get punched. So keep your mouth shut.
Fine. Oh! In your face!
Whoa, look, dude.
That's amazing.
Things were going really bad for Rigby since it happens again and again as Rigby falls, holding his arm in pain. But Mordecai doesn't move or care at all. To him, rules are rules and he seemed to be enjoying the brutality. This left Rigby helpless. He ran for help while throwing trash cans at Benson, trying to explain his situation without words. But Mordecai appears like a shadow and hits him again on purpose.
Just say my name one more time!
And it wasn't just Benson. Pops also guessed wrong while Mordecai laughed and struck. Skips found a note and joined the case. Soon, the whole park team is after Rigby, running through bushes and halls with fists ready. Rigby hides in the bathroom, writes his name on the foggy glass, and starts to chant. But it escalated the situation as a backward demon came out and turned everyone into good zombies. Listen, it's not called a regular show for nothing. Even though Mordecai finally unjinxed Rigby and the zombies went back, you gotta admit that this whole thing wouldn't even have started if Mordecai was just being a nice guy to Rigby. In the end though, he seemed to be fine without saying sorry. This episode was amazing overall, earning a rating of 8.8 out of 10 on IMDb. And of course, a fan writes, he turns a kid's game into a beatdown squad. Zero empathy, classic sociopath move. Indicating that it's not just me who thinks that this is a little crazy. However, unlike that iron-fisted rulebook, ego inflation powers the next spiral in Cool Bikes, which aired on February 7th, 2011. Dang, we're getting old. In this episode, Benson was seen taking the duo's golf cart for slacking off and gave them old rusty bikes instead. Of course, Mordecai's pride flared because he wanted the cart back. Even though Benson just laughed it off, Mordecai's face turned to stone. He dragged Rigby to the Das Coolest store and spent all the credit on bright helmets and outfits just to look cool. However, that wasn't enough to please Benson, as he still said they looked uncool.
Hey, quit murmuring excitedly. These two are not cool. You'll never be cool, no matter how many trendy clothes you wear.
You don't know how wrong you are.
Come on, Benson. You gotta admit they do look pretty cool.
Yeah, right. I don't have to admit anything.
Instead of accepting that Benson was mad at them, Mordecai, along with Rigby, did everything they could to gain Benson's approval. But things go wrong when these random dudes arrest them for too much coolness and take them to an interstellar court.
are under arrest.
For what?
For being too cool.
Chill out.
Dude, where are we?
Witnesses begin to speak. Muscle Man nods, the shop owner reports record sales, even the mailman complains about delays. But that didn't help, since they admitted in the end that these two were actually the cool ones. However, with things going completely south, they called Benson, who finally managed to save them from a death sentence for being cool. Even though they made a narrow escape, you've got to admit that all of this happened because of Mordecai's psychopathic behavior in seeking validation from Benson. This episode got an 8.0 out of 10 on IMDb, with reviews like, he risks universal safety for a compliment, narcissistic psycho. But while Mordecai's ego nearly imploded a galaxy, raw greed starves empathy in the best burger in the world. Word spreads through the park. The all-time Meat-'em food truck has the world's best burger, one per person. Mordecai's mouth waters and his eyes go blank. Dude is hypnotized. But then again, Benson says they must do a week of chores first. This made both of them really angry, ultimately begging for mercy.
What about it?
You guys aren't going until you finish all your jobs.
What? We don't even have that much left to do.
Well, then I guess it won't take you that long to finish. All you have to do is mow the lawn on the frisbee field, clean the tool shed.
Still, the boys tried so hard to get to the burger truck and failed every single time because of Benson. Out of frustration, they ended up managing their hologram clones to do a favor for them while they ate burgers.
Two ultimatums!
Is that it?
Yes!
Can I get your names?
Mordecai and Rigby! Why are you guys just standing around?
But things went bad when the burgers turned on them, chasing them and slapping burgers out of their hands. Mordecai then threw rocks with perfect aim and finally destroyed them. I mean, they literally put their lives in danger fighting the holograms just for Mordecai's ego to get the burgers, which they couldn't even have because Benson was the one holding the meat. Even though they work together just to get burgers, this next example twists their entire friendship in Dumia Solid. Because in this episode, Rigby and Mordecai argue about a solid, and Rigby wins 10 solids, asking Mordecai to do whatever he wants. Allow me to paint the picture for you. There was a double date with a crew. Mordecai went with Margaret, Rigby was stuck with Eileen. But Rigby was making fun of Mordecai with his solids, making him feel awkward every single time. Things reached their peak though when Rigby wanted Mordecai to do a really weird dance for his last solid, and this is where things went wrong since Mordecai completely refused. And because Mordecai didn't do the solid, the wall started to crack and everyone began falling into the earth as reality started to literally erupt.
I don't care. I'm not doing it.
You have to! What are you two doing?
I told you not to abuse the solid.
However, Mordecai's ego still wouldn't let him do the solid.
It wasn't me, it was Rigby. He asked me to do one that was worth like 10 solids.
Even after Margaret begged, Mordecai still refused to bow his head, putting everyone at risk. And although Mordecai finally managed to do the solid while dancing, he ended up completely ruining his relationship with Rigby. Plus, we never even got to see the full dance. His psychopathic behavior earned the episode a solid 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb. This episode shows behind the curtain just how egoistic Mordecai can be, but it wasn't the only time we saw his ruthlessness, because then his chronic bullying ignites in the episode Death Punchies. This episode starts by showing how Mordecai would dominate Rigby with punches every time things went wrong. This made Rigby mad, and so he learned a karate called Death Kwon Do, just to beat Mordecai. But unlike Rigby, Mordecai secretly trains too. And when the two faced off, Mordecai blocked Rigby while provoking him to go all out. Just like that, the fight continued, leaving half the park destroyed.
Are you finished yet?
Not until I smash you!
However, things took a turn for the worse as lava started erupting from the ground, threatening to burn them both in the end. And just when they were almost burned, Mordecai finally set his ego aside and admitted his fault, just to survive.
You got me. You got me. Oh, you got me. You win. We have to stop now because I lost.
I told you I was gonna win! In your face!
Even though they finally survived, one thing was clear. This situation would never have happened if Mordecai had set his ego aside and apologized to Rigby from the beginning. Honestly, good on him for actually saving their lives though. This episode was one of the best for its story, with a rating of 8.9 out of 10 on IMDb. Fans also seemed to enjoy it, and of course they labeled him a psycho too, saying, bullies for fun, then nearly kills. Long game psycho. That near murder chills the park, but abandonment scorches the highway in Laundry Woes of Season 5. Freshly dumped, Mordecai became very depressed. Just after Margaret left, Mordecai began to miss her, seeing her reflection everywhere he went. It went even further when Mordecai found Margaret's sweater and wanted to return it to her in person instead of just mailing it. As a result, Mordecai drove for 20 full hours, nearly getting himself and Rigby killed when he went off track, all to fulfill his obsession.
The road! Dude, what the heck? Have you been driving all night? You look awful.
It's fine. It's fine. I just gotta get the sweater to Margaret. Almost there.
Fine? Fine? Not fine. Not fine, not fine. You've been driving all this time. Your eyes, they must be blind.
But things got even crazier when Rigby tried to hold him back, and Mordecai literally left Rigby on the side of the road while continuing to drive to Margaret.
I am your friend. You'd realize that if you weren't such a sad sack chump.
That's it.
Aw, man.
Stupid Rigby. Why can't you just back me up?
But apart from being his best buddy, Mordecai doesn't look back at all, which honestly felt really strange. His odd behavior made the episode earn a decent 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb, and rightfully so. Fans didn't like his approach, saying he just ditches his only friend on the interstate. Selfish psycho. But he didn't just ditch Rigby. Mordecai was also seen dumping CJ, mind you, at a wedding, who loved him more than herself in the episode Dumped at the Altar. Muscle Man's wedding starts, and CJ and Margaret are both there. Mordecai's gut feels all mixed up, and so he remembers Muscleman's dad's letter, trust your gut. So he grabs the mic during the ceremony, rants about soulmates, and waffles in front of everyone.
It's like they were designed for each other. So where's my soulmate? Are they in this room? It could be anyone. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's that really old lady. I don't know.
Why are you talking?
Oh, right. My point is, I don't know if there's one perfect person out there for me, but I know that for a long time I've been ignoring my gut.
This incident breaks CJ's heart right in front of probably 200 guests, and she runs away bawling. Just like that, Mordecai ruined a completely healthy long-term relationship with his uncontrolled actions in the end. Not gonna lie, this episode was one of the saddest, with an overall 8.1 out of 10 online rating. People online did not like it at all, with one of them saying he's one bad day away from villain status in the end. Listen to this kid, he knows what he's talking about. Anyway, without more being said, keep watching the regular recap. Subscribe.